so we can present everything to you here at Randomania. Well, it looks like we have the countdown underway, so the race will be beginning in a matter of moments, and it looks like we have a little gamba going on, some channel predictions. We'll see about that in a moment.
And
Yes.
Race has started. We have gold and Erdrick's token in the throne room, and obviously a key. We know, and now our runners know, that there's no way to get out of the throne room using a spell, so they're going to walk their way out and hope that there's an enemy they can kill with their 8 strength.
Well, ideally they're going to be looking for a slime, a red slime, maybe a Drakey. Anything beyond that's going to be a little iffy. As we see here in the overworld, well, it looks like we've got a bit of a search here. Fred's going to go ahead and, well, try for a magician, but with that 8 attack, you're looking at a damage range of 0 to 1, so it's a coin flip to even do 1 hit point of damage.
And
even a little bit better.
Even worse than a coin flip, actually, for Magician. I believe the breakpoint for Magicians is 8 points of damage. So the way that the code works, it's, I believe, only a 1/3 chance of getting through that 1 point of damage on a Magician with 8 strength.
Well, I was trying to keep it a little simpler and not get too much into the technical aspects of things here, but that's all right. Looks like we have nycguy doing a little exploration, and over to the southeast finds a cave, and based on the meandering in the dark, it looks like it is the tablet cave, and is heading right on out of there without a torch. So, yeah, no way to light the way through, and no enemies to be able to send you back via the death.
And because he's saved, he's in the position where he can just reset and go back out. He has no experience, he has nothing to lose. But it is, it's a tough one in the dark for the very reason that Ferron just suggested.
Oh, and we see that the Scorpion has the traditional fire breath that does roughly, what, 17 to 24 hit points of damage, give or take?
Somewhere around there. Definitely a lot more than a Scorpion would normally be doing, I'll just say that. We do have our first level, 12 hit points. I didn't see the other ones.
3 strength, 0 agility, 12 hit points, and 4 magic points. Still no spells.
And they'll still only be doing up to a maximum of 2 damage to the... Actually... I believe it's actually 1 damage max still to the Magician, so it may not be worth fighting them. Oh, and it looks like the red slime also has the breath as well. It's not the big bad nasty Dragon Lord 2 breath, but at this level with this low of hit points, it's definitely something that's not welcome.
And neither is a Star Wyvern on Fred's side, who melees for 38 with a max of 33 hit points. That's an insta-kill.
That is. With this strength and those red slimes, which would honestly be one of the better enemies to be fighting right now with that low strength. With that red slime having the breath and no guarantee of a one-shot without a crit, definitely not a great place for our runners. I haven't seen any Drakies. That'd probably be something that our runners would welcome right now.
And we see the Demon Knight causing a death as well. And yeah, there is a town over to the west. But we don't know how our runners are going to reach it yet.
That is true. The entire map is randomized, and it's definitely not always a single continent. There is a second continent possibility, just like the base game. And some seeds, you'll have a nice centralized mass of places to go. In other ways, I don't know, was it Cyberdark's race the other day where it just seemed to meander to the left and to the right and down and to the right and down and to the left, and it was just one big long chain to get places.
I can't say that I immediately recall, but I do see here Fred is going for a Magidrake and just barely beats it out. And that's going to be enough for level 3. And look at what we got here. No strength, but 2 agility, 3 hit points, 11 magic points, and the spells of Hurt, Sleep, and Return. That Hurt and Sleep spell is definitely going to allow for a little bit of expansion.
That Hurt spell is good, so now these enemies that they were chipping down 1 or 2 damage apiece, they'll be able to take down with 1 spell, such as the Magidrake that we're seeing nycguy run away from right now. Having a little trouble getting that last experience to get to level 2. Level 2 does come with a 3 strength that'll allow him to kill a few more of these enemies.
So this, I was going to say hopefully would do it, but the red slime seems to be doing a decent amount of fire damage here.
And we have level...
We have a level. It was 1 strength, 4 agility, 0 hit points, and 1 magic point. So level 4, not really much of which to speak.
No, not at all. However, with 8 hurts at their calling, this it can finally start doing a little bit of damage, and we have nycguy getting level 2 and that extra 3 strength to help him out as well. Looks like we have fcoughlin going through the tablet cave right now.
Navigating it in the dark, which is not easy to do, and if you get tripped up, this could cost a good amount of time. Little does he know that he's got at least a smidgen of a lead, but doesn't want to necessarily get that away here, and we've got a magic key in the tablet cave. What a gamble!
Oh, that is huge, and I imagine he's going to go straight to Tanagal, check out that treasury, and see if his gamble paid off. This tablet cave dive did take some time. They don't have the spell of outside, so he's going to walk the whole way out and hopefully not get lost in the way, although as a veteran player, I doubt he will. But the treasury, I don't think he has enough gold to buy another key to get to behind the castle. And maybe there'll be another key in the treasury, kind of making that a moot point. Of course, you can always go back into the tablet cave and get another key, as that chest will respawn.
Ooh, Drakeema's with Heal More, and also with Hurt. And looking at the gold there, so 180, that would be 2 keys in the back of Tangel that could be purchased. They're 85 apiece. 85 times 2 is 170, and that's about the extent of the mathing that I'll hopefully have to do.
That is correct. I didn't want to say anything because he would have had half as much gold had he not taken out that Drakeema the way he wanted to, but he did. Got 20 experience in the process and is now well on his way to level 5. One more of those Drakeemas will get him a lot closer. And we have nycguy getting a quick level 3.
No.
Ooh, I spoke too soon. Of course, he may not be worried about going to the back of the castle. He just wants to see that treasury, I imagine. Or not. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong side. nycguy left immediately, and he is going to the back. He's going to grab another key, see what's in the back there, and then check out the treasury. If it's something like the Grave of Garen or the Mountain Cave, there's actually a possibility of a gold grind, and if he does die, that door will remain open, and he can just come straight back here.
And chat noting that this is the mountain cave.
Yeah, the sprite had to move him to the right a little bit longer than I expected, and maybe he was sitting there for a second. Another Druin Lord, which will be a great target in a little bit. Right now, not quite enough hit points to withstand the damage it will do to them.
It quickly goes through the first chest and finds... Oh, well, there we go. We've got some gold. We had an herb up at the top part of the mountain cave, and now 4 more chests here on the lower floor. All accessible, but the enemies may prove cumbersome here. There's a wolf lord able to get away. And there's a set of wings. And a fairy water, so far, a bit pedestrian.
Now, that fairy water would have been great at level 1, but luckily they were able to get past it without even the damage that it does. In later releases of this game, oh, blue. So we do have the blue dragon sending him back before he could get to that last chest in the mountain cave. But he does have 7 chests open right now, including the 3 in the Treasury. So he's going to go in here and still have a possibility of a gold grind. We don't have a place to spend the gold. However, if he does want to do a gold grind later on, once he does find a town with something to spend his money on, he will be able to do it then. Is that more keys?
I believe it might be. Well, it saves having to buy more. That looks to be another fairy water. And there's the Stones of Sunlight. So that's one of the noted items needed for access to the final castle. Now, yes, it displays as bamboo poles and other various things, as it notes that... I'm trying to find a good way to explain it. The game doesn't really know what to do after 8 treasure chests are open before going back to the overworld. So if it's an item, the game just kind of pulls 2 things from inventory. The very first item that comes up in the game's selection is bamboo pole. So if you've opened up your menu, it just goes to that first thing. Now, meanwhile, as we were going over all of that, nycguy took the experience lead and got level 5 with 3 strength, 4 agility, 1 hit point, and 3 magic points, along with the spell of heal.
Yeah, unfortunately for Fred, there was not much of consequence in the Treasury. So he is going to get his level 5 right now, catch up to nycguy, but he didn't gain much from that early key. Now, that being said, he does have 6 keys in his inventory right now, so when he reaches either to the town of Cantlin or the town of Garenham, he will be able to access information there that nycguy will be unable to, as well as access the bottom of grave should they choose to dive it.
Oh, and there's that blue dragon again that we saw down in the bottom part of the mountain cave. And immediately it sends Fred back.
Be interesting to see if he decides to put the fairy water on to start repelling some of these lower enemies. I don't think at 15 defense he'll repel a scorpion, but the slimes, I believe he will save a little bit of time.
That is correct. The Repel or Fairy Water at this point would work for both of our runners at this point to repel everything from a Magidrake and below.
As we have nycguy taking the intentional death to refill his health and mana to full, go back and probably go after those Drakemas a little bit more. Right now we have Fred fighting a wolf on the right, and great sleep and or hurt target right now for them, as he gets 40 experience and a level of 6. And we have 3 power, 3 agility, 8 hit points, 3 magic, and a new spell. Oh, nice, the spell of heal.
Heal came at level 5. It looks like Stop Spell came at level 6.
You're correct. You are absolutely correct.
Now, if only there was a Stop Breath spell, given how many of these enemies seem to have the fire breath.
Right? Maybe that's something for a future randomizer perk. You know, wear the curse belt that provides 50% defense against breath spells, except for the DL2 breath from the Dragon Lord, at the cost of not being able to see the king. Something ridiculous like that.
Non-sponsored breath mint, or something along those lines. Some sort of non-sponsored breath mint. Take your pick. I wasn't going to mention any because, well, we don't have any as sponsors, but you get the idea.
Yeah. When the flag is enabled, the randomizer renames the fairy water as a specific brand of mouthwash or something.
Oh, there's also a fair point there. So, now really the main difference between both of our runners was the gamble to explore the tablet cave in the dark, and that allowed Fred the access to keys, which gave him the stones of sunlight in the treasury, but also knowledge of a few additional chests.
That is, and so even though he didn't get a lot of, he didn't get find Urgic's sword or Urgic's armor in there, he did get the stones of sunlight, which is one of the required items. But more importantly, he already has a experienced lead, even though he's done that extra exploration. He did get a jump early on, where nycguy was getting breathed by red slimes, and he got to level 2 faster, which allowed him to get to these other levels faster as well. And he's found a nice area with Drakemas that he's spending some time in.
It doesn't seem interested in the wolves, perhaps too many resources being utilized. Oh, well, not enough resources to take it out. That would certainly do it. Didn't see the MP immediately.
But nycguy is going to attempt right now, and as long as the wolf stays asleep, should be successful. And did not throw out the final hurt, and is sent back with no experience. Unfortunate for him. We have Fred 1 Drakema away from the next level. Going to try to run away from the Droll Magi, who hits them for more than half of his health, is going to block the run and send him back as well. Yeah, I agree with chat, Harrison. It did seem like he was trying to be greedy for the 3 MP heal, and unfortunately did not work out for him. And we have Fred getting level 7, 4 power, 1 agility, 4 hit points, 1 magic, no additional spells. So miserly return for level 7. Still fairly low across the board on all the stats. HP about what you would expect for level 7, but everything else a little on the low side.
Just a bit. So something tells me there won't be a whole lot of Well, of course, as I say that, here is a metal slime that immediately runs away, and up to NG smiles somewhere.
That's another thing for those of you who, most of you probably know this as you've been watching other races, but if you haven't, the metal slimes have changed a little bit. The standard tournament flags we have for this tournament has no scared metal slime, so metal slimes will not automatically run away as long as you have less than 20 strength. However, they do provide scaled XP for kill based on your level. So at level 7, they will get 7 times 32 experience points. Not quite the 255 that they would have gotten previously. At level 8, obviously, 8 times 32, 256 means that it will max out at the 255.
So, oh no, they'll have to settle for 224 at level 7. Oh,
I know.
But not if they keep running away like that, but Fred does find a cave here, and...
Is that Swamp Cave? Swamps? Nope, it is. Oh, that's the Grave of Gary.
So 3 chests that are accessible without a key, and then there are 2 more that are key blocked and down a few basements here. So Fred is going to at least try to give us a look here at the top 3, and well, red slimes seem to be at least little trip hazards in the path.
So the one thing I'll say is we have not found
a little trip hazard.
Oh my goodness, and we have the first appearance of the Fun Police in the top floor of the Grave of Garen. I don't believe we saw them in the bottom of the mountain cave earlier, which means that he got pretty lucky in his initial run.
Yes, now the Red Dragon is known in the community as the Fun Police. They are one of the strongest enemies in the game outside of the Dragon Lord, as well as one of the most agile. So when they show up, you're usually not strong enough to kill them, and you're not fast enough to run away from them, so the fun tends to stop when they show
up. Certainly stopped his fun, at least for the moment. Fighting the Droll, hurting it down. Remains to be seen if he's going to go right back to the grave to look at see what those 3 chests are, or if he's going to explore in another direction. I don't know this runner well enough to try to get inside of his mind, but he could also just try right now to get level 8. Only 600 experience points for level 8, so not too far away, especially with these Drakimas and Scorpions providing 20 and 16 XP respectively.
That is a good point. We did see the blue dragon in the basement of the mountain cave, so the dragons are certainly making their presence felt early on here. Although I say early on, we're 24 minutes in. It's just been a few little speed bumps in the road.
Just a few. A red one, a blue one, and actually we had a red one early on in the form of breathy slime. Oh god, sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way. So red stop in the beginning, red stop just now, and we have a wolf. That's going to be another 40 XP right now. one step closer to level 8. We haven't found a town yet, which is surprising. They haven't explored a whole lot, but Fred especially has explored a good amount of this opening area. It'll be interesting to see if we find a Townsville later on where there's multiple towns grouped together. Although the finding Grave and Mountain Cave this early on gives him the chest content knowledge that's pretty good. Although he's probably crying for a weapon right now as he is sent back once again.
Yeah, 22 attack power doesn't get you a whole lot. I mean, even the Magician here, they have up to 12 HP, and you're meleeing for 4 to 8. So generally, at this juncture, outside of the basic enemies that are a little beyond the desire of our players at this point, the hurt spell is going to be the way to go because, well, the hurt spell can do 9 to 16 hit points of damage on a droll that has up to 20 HP, whereas a melee can be anywhere from 2 to 5 at this juncture, so not nearly doing as much damage with the fists.
Yeah, unfortunately, in this first iteration of the Dragon Quest franchise, there's no monk class that can benefit from not holding a weapon. In fact, is there a monk class in any of the Dragon Quest? I just said that, but I'm not quite sure, as we have 1, 3, 5, 1, and no new spells for level 8.
I think the closest that you get is the third iteration where you have a fighter, but they don't necessarily just use, I mean, they primarily use fists and claws, but they are equipable claws. I don't know if there are any that, to my knowledge, and granted mine don't go much beyond Dragon Warrior 4, where there is a particular character class that just uses their bare hands.
Me either. We do have a metal slime sighting on the right side of the screen. It has sleep and the spell of hurt. And it's going to send Fred back to the king once again. And the king does not take excuses. Thou shalt not have died. Is he going back to explore Mountain Cave? I do believe he is. He's considering trying to take out the Droll Magi with the Hurt spell. Unfortunately, I think they're hitting just a little too hard right now. Druin Lord as well. You know, 3 hurts will take out a Druin Lord, however, it's going to hit him for probably 15 to 20 at this point. Or unless it's breathing fire. And he has done well in defeating the Dragon Lord. Or, Dragon Lord, Druin Lord. My goodness. Someone needs to take my mic away after 8 p.m. Able to run away from the blue dragon. Gets a little bit of gold, heals up, and imagine, is he going to go up to the other 2 chests that he's already seen, or is he going to go, nope, he's going straight down to that 5th chest. Able to get away from the knight, not healing and unfortunately is quickly taken out by the red dragon as well. So top floor grave, bottom floor of mountain cave, not a great place. Quite an austere siege that we have going on here. Not one for finishing quickly, although level 9 could come with quite the boost. We'll never know until they get there. I'm with Asmati Games. I think Fred is thinking the same thing. If it's armor or sword down there, that is that would help them immensely. I think that's kind of unspoken. But especially right now with their low strength, no towns in sight. Unfortunately, a lot of the enemies here seem to have a breath spell or something else that the armor won't quite help with. Although 54 HP at level 8 means that they can take at least one hurt more, and once they get Erdrick's armor, they'll be able to take one Dragon Lord 2 breath as well.
Sorry, I did have to step away for a moment there. Did I miss anything?
I believe that when you left, they were level 8, and they are still level 8. We did have Fred go for a dive down into Mountain Cave to try to get that 5th chest. Was unable to find the that 5th chest because he ran into both a knight that he got away from, a blue dragon that he got away from, and the fun police that he did not run away from.
Oh, mercy.
So he's back to our favorite strip of desert and forest with a little bit of hillage, fighting these wolves and the other enemies that are here. Unfortunately, the wolf attacks deals 15 damage and sends him back with half his MP. Angel says another town. Was it another town across a body of water or other way inaccessible?
Yeah, apparently it was also... Oh, man.
At least they have a general idea of where they need to go. Unfortunately, the way this map is, it's probably going to go around the entire continent before you can get to that spot where the town is.
I would say that in general, this game does a very good job of telling our players exactly where they can go. He says tongue-in-cheekly.
Luckily, enough HP and MP with the heal spell that they can walk pretty far. There's that other town. Or I assume that's one of the first two towns that we have already seen that were across a body of water.
Indeed.
Yeah, we had nycguy confirming in chat, Schmike graciously confirming that it was Swamp North that he was in. And we did see Wizard in there, which I don't believe we saw that in the Mountain Cave earlier. So that's another surprise waiting for our runners. Or for the one that hasn't seen it yet. As we have fcoughlin finding another Sharlock level enemy on the overworld. My goodness.
Okay, whoever said fortune favors the bold did not play this seed.
Yes, do not go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the scorpions and the Drokimas that you're used to.
Thank you, T. Elmore St. James, C. It was funnier in my head, I swear.
I'm certainly smiling. And we have fcoughlin getting quite close to that 975 experience required for level 9. Depending on what he runs into out here, may be able to get it on this trip. Wolves right now would be somewhat difficult. 3 hurts to take down, and they don't have that much MP, where the scorpions, while they only give 16 experience, usually will require 1 hurt, and maybe a swing at the end.
Oh, with 23 attack, that's even a little dicey for the Drake. Well, they're now 2 to 4 with 23, or 2 to 5, I believe.
That they are. That excellent dodge is not a welcome experience right now. I believe he's not going to be able to get it unless he gets really lucky with an excellent hit. He'll have to either take the Death Warp or go down and refill his mana and heal up. Surprised they haven't. We do know that there's an herb available in the top of Mountain Cave. I imagine it's probably a little bit of a walk just to get 1 herb. Although, if it prevents a walk back to Tanagal to heal up and allows you to save a little bit of that gold, it might be worth it. But,
you're also spending a key to get there, though.
That is true. Yeah, there's that wolf that would have tipped him over, but he doesn't have the resources for it. This Drakima, though, if he's able to take it out, will absolutely do that. This hurt may do it.
And indeed it does. One strength, well, there's 18 agility, 1 hit point, 0 magic points, and the spell of repel.
Given their low defense, they won't be repelling a whole lot, although with that significant boost in agility, 18 agility, I believe, that's an extra 9 defense over what they previously had. They will be repelling more. Unfortunately, they don't have much damage-dealing ability aside from the hurt spell, so they don't really want to repel the stuff that's going to be their bread and butter right now.
No, those Drakeemas have been extremely helpful, and those would be repelled at level 9.
And we have nycguy not far behind. He's less than 50 experience away from that level 9 as well. And here's a Drakima going to get him a little bit closer. Unfortunately, level 9 did not bring any additional mana, and really not much more health, just 1 more health. So sustainment rolling out is not too much greater, and given the amount of breath and hurt/hurt mores that we've seen out here, unfortunately that extra defense boost won't help too much against those.
It's definitely a minimal help at this point. And yes, our Fred verifying still no equipment that does, in fact, match up.
Who do we have? Osmati Game saying that Agi Boost might make me try to get that 5th chest. That is a significant bump in agility and their ability to run away from enemies. Still not quite high enough to consistently run away from those red dragons, which is honestly the biggest scare down there right now. However, it might be worth it, because you definitely could get there if you get just a little bit lucky.
little bit of good luck to negate the plethora of bad that seems to come in this game.
Absolutely. Now, I didn't see where Swamp North was earlier. Is this where nycguy found Swamp North? All right, Angel confirming that. We'll see. We know that Swamp North has a wizard in it, at least. And also metal slimes. Hopefully he doesn't get sleep and hurted. Oh, no.
Oh, he just sleep and ran.
Yeah, with 24 strength, they're more likely than not to run away at this point. Or is it that they have a chance, but not more likely than... But he did make it through, and... oh, no, he went back to the top. Sorry. Up to and G, we have seen two towns on the map. However, they are across barriers that prevent our players from getting there. So even though we've seen two towns, we haven't found a single one.
Oh, we have nycguy getting the top of the grave, and I believe that was the silver harp, an herb, and a torch.
Torch not quite as helpful now, although without the spell of Radiant, if he wants to make his way down into... Oh! Well, nycguy now has a torch to go through Tablet Cave, get that key, and start that chain rolling. But the back of the Swamp Cave goes into the back of Garenham, which is huge right now. 3 chests available. He's not going to spend the key. He's going to walk out, go back in, and imagine the first thing he's going to do is check the weapon shop and see what's available. Oh, no. He's going to go to the item shop first. Get some herbs. So he's forfeiting any chance at a half plate if it's there. But I imagine he's more worried about a hand axe or copper sword, and barring that, maybe a large shield if there's nothing else to spend your money on.
Well, there's your hand axe.
And there is a large shield, no chainmail, unfortunately, but that hand axe is a huge boon. 15 additional attack power on top of the 24 strength that he has. So I'm not good at math, I can't tell you what it is, but effectively a little bit more than 50% increase in the amount of attack power, which, given the way that the damage is not generated, but calculated in this game, since it's relative to the enemy's defense, means that a large increase above that breakpoint can actually significantly increase your damage output, as fcoughlin finds our first AK-47 of the seed, the Armored Knight, one of the hardest enemies in the game to run away from, hits hard, and sends him back. Fortunately, he knows where to go now, and might try the mountain cave. Checks to see how many keys he has and if he needs to go shopping for more. Heads back down, and we have attempt number 3 at that mysterious 5th chest.
And nycguy, understandably, gonna head to the back and buy more. Well, he's in the same boat here, but can buy 2 keys.
Can buy 2 keys, and we do know that if he does set up the grind appropriately, which he has a chance to, so he's seeing 3 chests right now by going back to the throne room. As he goes down here, if he's able to open up enough chests here, he can set up the grind for keys in the castle treasury, which we know has keys in it.
So Fred going after the Droll Magi. Oh my goodness, it has heal more. That'd have been a nice enemy for right around where they're at level-wise, and of course it has heal more.
And we have the simultaneous mountain cave dies. Very nice.
Oh no. Looking for the runaway manip, and it works! Not that there's an actual manip, but at least not in the randomizer. Mass Cardinality seemed to pull all of the... Oh, and all of that for a cursed belt. Wow.
That... Well, I mean, it's 180 gold. That's something. And he's going to need it when half his gold is taken away from him. Oh, simultaneously fun police encounters. Fred sent back to the king, trying to... Oh, and he did it! Oh my goodness, sorry, I just yelled really loud, because that was exciting.
I will say that that is indeed how excitement works, and it's a good thing. Maybe not for certain people's ears unexpectedly, but it's a race. There's excitement going on.
Yeah, hopefully
and it
this
worked
might...
on the Blue Dragon too. What madness is this, and how much is Ness Cardinality going to study it?
So he gets his curse belt. I imagine that now that he has this knowledge, it's going to be a quick death warp back to the king. He will have the gold grind activated when he goes into the treasury, and he will refill on keys, maybe get a couple Fair Waters, and that's about it. Although, I believe the Stones of Sunlight are there as well. So he will have all 3 key items as soon as he leaves here. That's actually huge. Because Fred doesn't have the harp, if he comes across the shrine where you turn in the staff, or the silver harp to receive the Staff of Rain, he's going to have to go back and get it. That could count for something. Although, I imagine he's going to get it now. Here.
He is in the grave of Garen, and... that was all I had to say about that for the moment.
Yes, heals up does not heal to full. Oh!
The harp is among the top 3 chests in Garen's grave, to answer the question in chat. That is the second time that fcoughlin has been in the grave, but has fallen to one of the tougher enemies there.
And I absolutely feel for him right now, because it's got to be incredibly discouraging to put all that effort into getting out there and coming back with not just nothing, coming back with half your gold. Yeah, Misplay didn't learn the manips. I'm not sure if the manips are of super value in the randomizer, although the memes will definitely say otherwise a little bit later on with nycguys actions earlier. So he is going past the grave and into this other cave right here, and it is it's the shrine to turn in the silver harp. So he doesn't know that the silver harp is just a little bit to the southeast right now. But it is close enough by that it's not too huge of a loss not having the silver harp the first time he goes to the shrine. Is able to get away from the Demon Knight. Very nice.
And this is the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, or the bonus cave as it's known. 1 free chest, and it's another curse belt.
Gives up that 180 gold that doesn't disappear when he dies. And it's a dead end right here, so... I wonder how much is going to be on the other continent. Because right now, I'm not sure if they've just not had enough time or resources to explore, or if they've just been hitting dead ends. But I imagine the other continent's got to be looking a little nice right now. Again, bypassing that grave. Oh, that's a town.
And it's Cantlin, the proverbial shopping mall of Alifgard. 3 weapon and armor shops. And let's take a look at the wares.
Leather armor provides some modicum of protection. The most expensive inn in the game. Also, there are keys for sale here, as well as 3 armor shops, item shops, and some radishes and fairy water.
The radishes primarily providing meme value and not really anything of value in the game.
Maybe in the randomizer, we enable the radishes so our players can provide their own nasty breath.
Oh, here's our coordinate. Ooh, 95 north and 26 west.
That, I'm sure some of the incredible runners we have would be able to count that out somehow, but I imagine the princess is going to be rescued in this scene. "95 North." The map is not much larger than that. So if they can find one edge relative to Tantagle, the reverse count is definitely an option. As Fred stays at the inn and walks out. I believe he's already full up on herbs. He is. And he is going to don his dragon scale. Good of them to remember. And continue his journey to the east. And yes, nycguy did expend 1 key for the half plate, and looks like he's going in for some more as well. I believe the hand axe and the large shield was available at that shop. So this must be for that large shield.
And there's a little NPC trolling. You hate to see it.
And Star Wyvern trolling, almost killing our runner. Able to survive with 1 HP, quickly heal back up, get out of this nasty area with its werewolves and Star Wyverns, and back to the red or blue slimes that you can deal with. Going back down into Garenham, at this point, knowing what he knows, he may actually do exactly what nycguy just did, and expend a few keys in order to get enough for that half plate and large shield. Large shield provides a significant 10 defense bonus. Not quite as much as the 20 the silver shield provides, but it's something.
Yeah, every little bit helps in terms of reducing the damage by some of the heftier enemies.
So it's certainly nothing to scoff at.
But given that he didn't go in there to get the gold chest without spending a key, yep, he's not going back for some more. He's content with what he has, and he's running around looking for these hand axe targets. Not sure if the Wraith is exactly what he's looking for right now. That's 2 hurts if you're very lucky, 3 usually. Decent experience return, but I think right now he's more interested in exploration.
And that certainly makes sense.
And we have our Charlock sighting, the big C on the second continent. nycguy finding his... Oh! And another town right here for Fred. And town of Vermolder. Yes, they already have keys. However, there is a chest here, so it's not entirely useless finding this town. It's no Breckenary, that's for sure. Oh, and Erdrick's sword!
The best weapon in the game. It gives 40 attack power on top of the base strength. So as you can see, that attack power jumping up to 64 is a significant increase.
Absolutely significant increase. Now, unfortunately, because they're low strength in the first place, it's not, they don't have, what's the word? They can't go crazy swinging at Charlock enemies right now. However, those mid-tier enemies that they were hurting earlier are now a much, much more stable grind. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he dies, if he goes back to that one area with the wolves and just goes to town. Or we saw some wyverns earlier as well. Oh, did we have an isthmus sighting? Isthmus, that's a narrow strip of land connecting 2 larger pieces of land. It's it's the bane of my my Dragon Warrior Randomizer career. I always seem to miss those one tile wide strips and walk around confused going, where is everything?
Little geography lesson for you out there. Certainly not a bad thing.
In Wisconsin, we build state capitals on them. Okay. Never thought of it that way, but yeah. I mean, technically the capital of Panama is on an isthmus as well. But that's kind of a given. Wow, he is... Is he doing the reverse count? Or is he just seeing where it is?
I think he's trying for a manual count and may try to see if, with this landmark here, can possibly pick up the count on the other side of that that little river there.
Yeah, so we know, unfortunately, and actually he knows as well, nycguy knows that there's a 1/3 chance of that being Erdrick's armor. The other 2 items that could be on that search tile would be the fairy flute or the death necklace. Given their...
Command, run. Wow, this time from a wizard.
Now, with that agility, running away from a wizard is not a...
Not that time.
Combo breaker. And he is sent back. Who's the real wizard here? believe the real wizard would probably fall into a chasm, but then come back even stronger. All sorts of lessons tonight. Grammar, geography, popular culture and references to movies, and apparently how to run away from werewolves. I wonder if after tonight's race, if the faux RNG manipulation would become a little bit more common.
Usually it's just for the purpose of memery, but apparently, if it's working, roll with it, I guess.
So he has the harp.
You have the harp. Okay, you're tunnel vision in here. All right. Also, there was level 10 for Fred. 2 strength, 1 agility, 2 hit points, 1 magic point, and no spells, apparently?
No spells. So level 10 continues this siege tradition of, being very frugal. It's telling our runners, you will learn to do with what I give you. It'll make them stronger in the long run.
And that allows for the prediction to be determined, as those of you who picked that Hurtmore would be at level 11 or higher, you just won a good portion of an overall pot of 217,834 channel points.
It appears that fcoughlin has gotten a number of them, so highlight those messages, sir.
And Fred takes out a metal slime, chipping away one by one.
Very nice, very nice. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it earlier when that 2 extra strength and 2 extra hit points would have made a difference. Kidding. But no, that does give him a significant boost towards his next level, which I believe comes at what, 2175 XP?
Correct, 2,175, and even without that metal slime, Fred was starting to get a notable experience lead, but that has quickly jumped to a little over 750 at this point.
As he is also trying to do the manual count. As nycguy finds his own metal slime, is quickly put to sleep after doing 1 point of damage, stays asleep. Metal slime is hanging around. That's good for him, assuming he can wake up here. That was quite the sleep. Metal slimes have had some of the more effective sleep spells of this seed.
Okay, there ends that. And now a little bit of landmarking here for Fred as well. And that's right there by the staff trading cave, but again, Fred never made it through those first 3 chests in the grave, although it looks like he's giving it another go here.
Third time's the charm. Or not. I think that might be Rimalder, yes, on the other side. So if they know where it is, and there is a way to manually count this, I believe. It's a long manual count, and given that whatever is on the spike tile in the swamp cave is likely not going to be killable without a series of excellent moves. No, this isn't dragon fodder. It's our runners that are dragon fodder.
At least we've been able to provide some entertainment here on this end, because I didn't realize that we're already past the 1 hour mark.
We are past the 1 hour mark. Beta Strep is throwing out the experience with on Charlock heavy maps, grind to a survivable level ASAP. That is absolutely possible. We saw it earlier where one runner was exploring and doing an admirable job of finding things out there, while the other one stayed in the same place for about 20, almost 30 minutes, I think. And it was crazy how much they were just ignoring everything except for gaining levels. And in the end, they just so quickly climbed the ladders once they reached the point that they could run around the map without trouble and get later levels much more effectively that way. I'm thinking those wolves up north is probably a good spot right now, at least to level 11. It'll take some time, but it'll pay off in the long run. There's wyverns around somewhere. Unfortunately, Swamp, Grave, and Mountain Cave are not good places to grind, given the heavy dragon presence. We'll see if the RNG minute works right here, and it does!
This is absolutely wild.
Looks like we may have a deep dive into Grave right now. Night is not something they want to see. It's going to hit fairly hard. It's not difficult to run away from, but it's not something that they're looking for. Going to get these 3 chests again, although I believe they already have. Maybe there's something there that they want. I imagine the red dragon is not it. Red Dragon still swinging the punch more. Sends nycguy back. Fortunately for him, this citation only cost him 2 gold.
And little of value was lost. I thought something was amiss. I was hitting the button and talking and realized that I was hitting the button above the push-to-talk button I utilize, so nothing was going through. And some would argue nothing of value was lost.
Alrighty. So we have nycguy throwing the torch on here. Maybe they're going to take a peek at the spike tile, or maybe not. They're going to roll straight back to Garenham and explore a little bit more of the second continent, as nycguy is in sight of the cave he was using as a landmark to do their count. Wyvern. Ooh, there's that mid-game enemy that he is looking for to rapidly propel himself towards that magic 2,175 experience points for level 11. Very nice target, and another one.
And at the same time is also attempting to continue the manual count.
Yes, this is incredibly exciting. This is why I like commentating. This is why I like watching these matches, because this is something I would not be able to do, and seeing him do it is quite impressive and really inspiring. For those of you who do not play the Dragon Warrior Randomizer and are asking yourself, how do I play the Dragon Warrior Randomizer? Well, the answer is in our Discord. You can join us. We're a great group of people, and we love helping new players learn. And as much as nycguy loves finding Erdrick's armor in the town of Cole. Wow. That was Erdrick's armor. That wasn't just
That
my
was indeed
eyes.
Erdrick's armor. You were correct.
Oh my goodness, finds 2 towns up here. So now, and it's the town of Hawksness. So if there is something in Hawksness, I'm surprised he didn't check the spike tile just to see what it is. He may be going to do that right now. So there's a search tile underneath the mini-boss in the back of Hawksness. We don't know what that mini-boss is. It's from a select group of difficult enemies. In this case, it's the Golem. There is something hidden underneath him, but you have to defeat that boss first to be able to search for it. There is something else on the overworld search tile, which is what fcoughlin right now is trying to search for, unless he found it while I was looking at the other screen. But given what we know about Cole, on that search tile is either the fairy flute, which would be helpful for that golem, or the death necklace, which would be helpful because of the low strength of this seed. That being said, right now the number one thing nycguy needs is experience. And hopefully he is going to hang around here fighting these Druid Lords and getting that experience fairly close to a town that will allow him to refill his mana and not have to go too far, as unfortunately fcoughlin sent back by the AK-47 21 deaths for both of our runners each this seed, a total of 42. I imagine Zarnax is very happy with that death total. Beta Strap,
Indeed.
just sit and grind. That is perfect. Great advice. Oh, sorry to leave Brian Williams out of this as well. I apologize, sir. Oh, I was Brian Williams asking what he did. I was talking about Zarnax being happy about 42 and completely ignoring the fact that that's part of your name as well. LOL indeed. As we find Breckenary, it's good for a 6 gold refill. And that's about it right now. Later on, if they're cursed, they can go there to remove the curse and possibly refill on fairy water. But given how close Cantlin is, that's probably where they're gonna get it. If the strength doesn't pick up, and they're getting pretty close to the totals required to take out the Dragon Lord, the Fairy Waters can be used in the Dragon Lord fight. It's a guaranteed 9 to 16 damage, which means that if you're below roughly 134 total attack power, it makes sense to bring a few down and throw them at the Dragon Lord before you start swinging your sword. So we had simultaneous red dragon fights earlier. Now we have simultaneous green dragon fights. The difference is that the red dragons were killing our runners, and right now our runners are killing the green dragons for that 135 experience. I'm not sure, did you mention the level 11? I think we were all gawking over Erdrick's armor when that happened. Level 11 brought the spell of Radiant, and a significant increase in strength for our runners.
True, it did kind of sneak up on us.
And I just realized, so nycguy has Urgix armor but no Urgix sword. fcoughlin has Urgix sword but no Urgix armor.
Yeah, I think that was pointed out a little bit earlier. Edge Talvaron noting that the irresistible force versus the immovable object. I know he said unstoppable force, but I'm used to that great call from Gorilla Monsoon at WrestleMania 3 of Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, where he used that same expression.
Lots of dragons in this race. Earlier we had the red dragon on the right, the green dragon on the left. And again, the green dragon is appearing to cast Stop Spell a lot, which is great for our runners. Easy kill, nearing 1500 experience, and level 10. And of course, Breckenary is right here. So I imagine he will hopefully satisfy Beta Strep's, instruction of staying still and grinding out a few levels. That was quite epic.
I know this was a tongue-in-cheek question asked in chat. Why is this called Dragon Warrior? Well, it was going to be Dragon Quest, but back in the 80s when the game came out, the name Dragon Quest was trademarked by the same folks who have the Dungeons and Dragons franchise. So they had to change it to Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, I agree with Kigalis. Original title was Dragon Warrior. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Most of what Beta Strep says is accurate, but that's funny nonetheless. But yeah, you have the town of Breckenary right there with some fairly inexpensive fairy waters. It could be good to supplement your attack and be able to stay out here a little bit longer if you're going to be throwing hurts already. This is something where fcoughlin with his Urgix sword is going to excel in taking out these green dragons if he finds the same zone. Oh, heal, heal. Oh, nope. Green dragon is still going to cast Stop Spell. Because he is wearing Urgix armor, that Stop Spell is never going to be effective. Urgix armor in this game, most powerful armor in the game, it prevents the Stop Spell from affecting you. It heals you 1 health for every step that you take, and it reduces the amount of damage the hurt and hurt more spells, as well as the Dragon Breath, do to you by 1/3. So overall, it's a nice thing to have, in addition to the defense it provides.
It also slices, dices, and makes julienne fries. Call now, and that, I don't know. It felt very infomercially.
That's a different Ron. Ronco, the infomercial.
Ah, yeah, that's right. The rotisserie there. Just set it and forget it.
Always wanted that dehydrator. Anyways, we have the Drakimas casting Heal More. He's not going to bother with that because he's walking around and not staying still and killing green dragons. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I did not know that. Holy smokes. Apparently, Ron Field did pass away only a couple of weeks ago.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad we were able to memorialize his life by making a reference to Urgix equipment.
Yeah,
I think that may have sounded rude. I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, it was about a week and a half ago. He was 86 years of age.
Unfortunately, it looks like the memes have run out for nycguy, as he is unable to command his way to safety from that red dragon. What's a toll-free number indeed? Tell you, a lot of things have changed. In fact, probably the biggest change between right now and 30 years ago is the map on Dragon Warrior, because this is completely different. Imagine having to explain to someone who's never played the vanilla game that no, there is a original map.
Yeah, who would put two caves next to each other like that? Oh yes, those classic Collect commercials as well from back in the late 90s. Collect call for Mr. Bob We Otta Baby It's a Boy?
Ah yes, back in high school I used that trick as well. Okay, and so nycguy doing a little bit of, I don't want to say exploration because he's already been here. Did fcoughlin just get run blocked by a metal slime?
To note that in chat, yes, the 800 numbers that were toll-free versus the 900 numbers that were definitely not toll-free, those were something completely different. Like the wrestling hotlines that the WWF and WCW had back in the day.
The Nintendo hotlines that they had back in the day. In fact, there was Nintendo had a whole team
Nintendo hotline too.
Yeah, they had a whole team of people that were basically paid to know as much as they could about this game. In fact, that was featured on I think a Netflix documentary some time ago. One of the nostalgia shows about video games. I can't remember which one it was.
Probably something like 99 cents for the first minute, 49 cents for each additional minute, or one of, probably more expensive than that, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, hey, level 12. 4 power, 4 speed, 29 hit points. There we go. 3 magic points, and
still missing out on both more.
Outside, it looks like, was the spell that was acquired. Oh, and there's another red dragon that Fred is having a little trouble escaping. Ooh, 50 HP. Oh, wow. Well, yeah, dragon claws, they can pretty well pierce through leather.
As nycguy is facing his own Charlock enemy and is able to get away, quickly picked up again and gets away from that one. Oh no. This is not looking good for our runners.
Oh boy.
I imagine our runners will have something to say to our whoever rolled this seed earlier.
Well, I've already had some words, but I'll save them for my own stream because I can't use them here.
So, I think I kind of wish our runners were watching chat right now, so they could so they can see all the great advice we're giving about staying in one place and just getting levels. Looks like fcoughlin has found a green dragon. We'll see if he answers this call and stays here for a while. 90 HP is nice because, you know, first of all, he doesn't have Erdrick's armor yet. That is unique to nycguy at this point. So he needs the extra little bit of defense. But the Erdrick's armor would also help with the stop spell that the green dragon throws out. Oh no.
And I
He's
think
thinking.
that's probably, yeah, there's definitely a... Oh, come on, just let me get away from this thing and get to these 3 chests.
I should probably check my DMs and see if they asked for a reseed like an hour ago.
I doubt it, because that means they'd have to start with... You know, they have to start with some sort of insanity from scratch.
I know. Oh, and fcoughlin gets his silver harp. Unfortunately, he doesn't know where Erdrick's armor is, or the town of Cole for that matter. So he may continue on in here. He does know that there's something on the coordinates, and now he knows that it is not the silver harp. He knows where the staff trading cave in. Have we found the jerk cave yet?
I don't believe we have. And there's nycguy opting to skip out on the obtaining another curse belt.
And we have nycguy finally doing his trade-in for the staff.
Fred? Opting to do a little fighting and healing here, which I guess makes sense. You want to try to keep that experience rolling upward. But also, you don't want to have to dip back into this grave if you don't have to. So here's the 4th of the 5 chests, and it's an herb.
Well, there's a little bit of healing and sustainment, in case he needs it. We don't know yet what these bottom floors of the grave really have. We saw some easier enemies earlier, now a Wraith. Nice enemy for someone with Erdrick's sword. It's going to take quite a lot of Wraiths to get to level 13, however, every little bit helps, and right now, with the stats that they have, it's not necessarily a bad choice. Although that 50 strength at level 12 is not too far off the mark. Still going to need one nice level, I think, to get to the Dragon Lord 2 stats, but they've got a few levels to get it. Hurt more, I think, is really what they're looking for.
And it's a dragon scale, deep, in the grave, and there's an exact, well, was an exact 1,500 experience difference. Now 1,500 minus 31, so it's 1,469.
And I do believe the equipment status or the equipment differences between our runners is about to change. Oh wait, no, never mind. Sorry. I'm looking at nycguy next to Cole, not fcoughlin.
Well, they both have their staff, so they still need a couple of things. They need the Rainbow Drop Cave, and primarily they need levels.
They need levels and they need heal more. Defeating the Dragon Lord without heal more is probably possible, let's be honest. It may happen at some point. That being said, it is highly unlikely, and generally it's faster just to get the heal more. And actually, by the time you get in this randomizer, you are guaranteed to get all spells by level 16, so you will have heal more well before you have the stats available to you to take out the Dragon Lord. Without it, and we have nycguy turning in his items, attaining the Rainbow Drop, attaining some free space in his bags to pick up some Fair Waters he will likely need for the fight with the Dragon Lord.
So what town is this right here?
I believe it was Breckenary? Because it was Hawksness next to Cole, and then I believe Breckenary up here.
Okay, so just northwest of Breckenary is where the Rainbow Drop Cave is.
So, we've been talking a lot about low strength this seed, but I think we've also somewhat been sleeping on the fact that our runners only have 29 MP at level 12. That's gotta hurt.
Well, it's not like the big spells that they want to utilize, the heal more and hurt more, are exactly plentiful. So, I mean, yeah, they're healing. They've got the little heal for 3 MP. They might have sleep or stop spell. Those are 2 MP apiece. But they're not really going for broke on those.
Yeah, maybe the randomizer is smart enough to understand the early to need for MP and doesn't give them the MP required until they actually get those spells. More than likely, this is just a rough seed.
That is a little bit of an understatement.
Okay. Now maybe we'll see fcoughlin do a concerted search of this second continent. Doesn't take too much, I think, to find where Cole and Hawksness are, and we do know that that will be the turning point for this seed. For all our runners with the Urgix armor being found there.
So Fred is passing Sherlock once again, and nycguy going after a green dragon here.
Not necessarily a bad enemy, although with the lower encounter rate in the forest, as well as the non-green dragons that also populate this area, it's not the fastest area to level in. But it is consistent, and this green dragon and one more will get him to level 11, where he will be, again, likely disappointed.
Fred, looking at the options in Rimmeldar, decides to pick up a small shield for 4 additional defense.
Another thing to note as well is nycguy has not found Erdrick's sword yet. Was that in Rimalder?
Indeed it was.
Yeah, so finding the town of Rimalder will be quite the boon for him. Maybe he's expecting it to be in Charlock, given that he's seen pretty much everything except for Charlock and Rimalder. He may be thinking that that's where it is. Also, neither of our runners have found the overworld search tile yet, which could be another location for it, as well as behind the golem in Hawksness. Given what's on the spike tile in Hawksness, I imagine it's the fairy flute there.
That would be rather trolly of the golem blocking its weakness, the fairy flute. But it is not to be, as the overworld item is the fairy flute. Fred doing a manual count. So unless there's a third cursed belt in Charlock, the Hawksness item might not have anything underneath of it.
May not. I tell you one thing it does have underneath it, and that's 255 experience points. We'll see if he uses that flute to get him that. And by the time he finds Hawksness, he will also have found Cole, which means he'll have that armor to help him out all along the way. 90 AP is not quite what I'm looking to go into fight a golem with, but the fairy flute will help. Question in chat, who is winning? It's kind of tough to say right now. fcoughlin on the right has a quite significant experience lead right now. Does not have Erdrick's armor, which we know where it is. nycguy on the left has found Erdrick's armor, has not found Erdrick's sword, and has significantly less experience points. I would give the edge right now to fcoughlin, especially since the closer we get to those higher levels, the faster we're going to get to the spell of Hurtmore, which may be this level. We'll see. Oh, nope, it is not. Although 6 strength, I believe, is not insignificant.
No, it's just not really significant either. 6, 1, 3, and 2 for level 13. So for those of you who said, oh, 13 is going to be the level, no.
No.
I've played that game before as I've been playing these particular seeds. You know, oh, 13's got to be the level. Oh, come on, 14's got to be. 15, please. Oh, 16, come on. 17, really? And then at 18 and beyond, it gets past the verbiage that I can use on this particular channel.
I don't think I've seen many go past 18, although I have seen it happen. Those are quite unfortunate. The fortunate thing is, at 16, they will have Hurtmore, and hopefully there's an enemy on the spike tile in the swamp cave that will give them a consistent XP generation, whatever, gathering, recoupment. Hopefully they'll be able to grind pretty quickly by that point. fcoughlin still has not found the town of Cole, which is unfortunate. Also unfortunate is getting run blocked by a Arbor Knight and being sent back. Level 18 hype with 60 MP, come on. No. Let's not do a level 18 hype tonight, please. Zarnax noting in chat, yes, there is a 2,000 experience lead right now for fcoughlin. almost double the experience for fcoughlin as compared to nycguy. Primarily, I think, to two reasons. Number one, fcoughlin did spend a little bit longer grinding those early levels, which allowed him to explore a little bit more quickly. And he has Urgic Sword, which has allowed him to take out enemies a little bit more quickly. That being said, he has found the Rainbow Drop, which means he is just north of Breckenary, which means he is just to the northeast of Cole and Hawksness. So we could see him taking the definitive lead here shortly. And yes, Fred has killed more things worth more overall XP. I do agree.
Yeah, that lead has quietly jumped out to almost double at about 2,200.
Finally buying his large shield. Looks like he's going to go stock up on some herbs. As far away as this tool shop is from the entrance, it's still easier to get to than Cole, I believe.
That is definitely correct.
You can definitely be sure that if the item shop in Garenham sold gasoline, it would definitely be more expensive than the other shops, given its proximity to the entrance.
Here is Cole, and Fred is going to be glad he doesn't have to worry about, as said in chat, footballs for armor, as he has found Erdrick's armor.
I imagine he is grinning quite widely right now. Going over to Hawksness, interesting to see if we have him, because he does have the Fairy Flute, unlike nycguy, if he's going to attempt to take down this golem. Of course, he doesn't know it's a golem right now, but he's going to check and see. Again, the Death Necklace may play a definitive part in our seed today. The Death Necklace, for those of you unfamiliar, within this randomizer, if you wear the Death Necklace, in addition to cursing you the normal way it does, it provides a 10 attack power bonus while making you sacrifice 25% of your hit points. Given that our hit points are substantially higher than our strength right now, there's a good chance that that will be possible, and he is going for the golem at 96 AP. Furon, you probably know right away how much he's going to be swinging for. First one was 16.
That was a minimum roll. It's a 16 to 33 range, and I don't know if Fred necessarily knows that, but Fred would have to last 7 rounds on average, but if they're all near, well, in this case, a minimum roll like that, it's going to be considerably longer than that, since Golem has up to 153 hit points.
So far, the rest of Hawksmith, given that we've only seen a few enemies, might be a good place to grind, although, well, there's a Golem. Golems, fortunately, are easy enough relative to the other Charlock enemies to run away from. Doesn't pose quite the danger as if there were an Armored Knight or a Red Dragon in there. Without the spell of Heal More, pretty much any of those enemies will be very difficult to take down and not worth the time. Beta asks, or doesn't recall what's in the swamp. I don't think either of us has, or either of our runners has checked the tile in the swamp yet.
So, also of note here, level 13, 31 max MP.
Just absolutely brutal. I'm sure the crowd is cheering at home, but our runners must... This is a crushing seed for them. An hour and 45 minutes into the run, one of our runners is still only level 11, with no real progress in sight. Hopefully, he just goes somewhere and just stays there and fights enemies for a little bit, similar to what fcoughlin is doing on his side of the screen.
Yeah, I feel like these types of seeds have become more commonplace, at least here in the tournament. And I know somebody earlier had said, "Oh, it's the end of the week. When's Ferran Burgundy's race?" Seeds like this are the reason why I opted not to enter this year.
And nycguy is taken back by another Charlock enemy, this time a werewolf. 25 and 26 deaths for our runners. Actually, not a whole lot more deaths than a half hour ago. But it seems like it's just a slow, sluggish grind up the level ladder. Only a couple more green dragons for fcoughlin to get to that magic level 14, which, well, I hope it's a magic level 14. Opting to attack the Stone Man, going with the sleep strategy. The Stone Man is definitely susceptible to that sleep spell, and even at only 96 AP is still hitting quite hard. Unfortunately gets the, I believe, 1 out of 8 chance of missing on the sleep spell. Still asleep, attacks, dares to take him down, gets 155 experience points, reaches level 14, and we have 12 strength, 3 hit points, 6 magic, and the spell of Hurt More. So that golem is not going to be very attractive. And the fact that they still only have 37 MP means that it's not quite the boon that it would be had they had magic points commiserate to level 14 status. But he misses the first Hurt More anyways on the Green Dragon, so... Honestly, with the 50 or 75% stop spell on the Green Dragons, I'd probably just swing anyways, especially since you're heal walking. So fcoughlin has 3 stats in an orange color right now. For those of you unfamiliar and have not seen many of these races, red stats means bad, white stats means not good, orange stats means you can possibly take on the Dragon Lord depending on what the other ones are, and green means typically you are good to go. So 97 hit points is really what they're looking for, assuming they have enough damage, or excuse me, assuming they have enough defense to survive the Dragon Lord's regular hits. That way they can take 2 full power Dragon Lord 2 breaths to the face without dying. Strength, depending on how many heal mores they have at their disposal, 130 is not a bad time to go down. 130 strength, I believe, is 12 or 13. Oh, actually, no, it's probably more like 14 swings against the Dragon Lord. So 134 is where the fairy water roughly matches the damage you'll do with regular swings. And again, it's all kind of a relative sliding scale depending on what the other stats are. They're looking for good agility as well, because that will help them not only damage break enemies in Charlock, allowing you to repel them, but also just be able to run away from them a little bit easier. Some of the Charlock enemies, notably the Armor Knight and the Red Dragons, definitely are notorious for making the Charlock encounters less fun. I can't wait for one of these next few levels to give our runners 50 plus MP. I would love to see that. It's definitely going to be necessary. because typically you're looking for some, it's kind of a seesaw between strength and MP. If one's really high, the other can be a little bit low, and you're fine. Right now, both of them are pretty low for our runners. 68 strength is low for level 14. 37 MP, though, that is abysmal. And it's really hurting the grind at this point. It looks like there's a golem in the swamp cave as well. So, wow, Angel FM, you have outdone yourself, sir, with this seed. I think he's the one who rolled it. And we have confirmation from our restreamer and that he did, and we can all chide him about it later on. But right now, let's just sit here and empathize with our runners and try to feel like they do. Try to sit or stand in their shoes and just embrace the hell that they are in right now.
Well, I don't think that chat generally has any issue with embracing a negative experience from a runner. Just, from what I've seen.
I keep waiting for, like, nycguy or fcoughlin to just, all of a sudden their screen pauses, and then, this text flashes across. Wait a second. This is the bad place. Because this is brutal. 2 hours is bad. 2 hours at level 14 with golems on both spike tiles. Not a great grind spot any other place. Hawksness, I think, appears to be the place. 108 attack power is going to take these stone men down pretty quickly. The green dragons as well, I think. Swinging on these green dragons is going to be huge. You're not damage breaking them, but there's chanting stop spell, which is never going to land. Excellent move, completely unnecessary at this point, but still takes it out for another 135 experience, within 1,000 experience points of level 15. And who knows, level 15 could be the level. No one in chat say level 15 is the level, because you're going to curse it. Actually, you probably would like to do that, so go ahead and say it.
If they go too far with it, they'll be getting a curse from me in a different sense.
Absolutely. So, in a strange twist of fates, it seems like the green dragons might actually be the hero of this seed.
Yeah, that that certainly is a twist. That is for sure. Even M. Night Shyamalan would be proud of that twist. Stay here at Breckenary from nycguy, and Fred is just working on green dragons in Hawksness.
Unfortunately, so nycguy was working on the green dragons, but in a place that was a much lower encounter rate and without the stonemen there to supplement the other side of it. Now, he's probably not ready to take on stonemen right now with only 65 attack power. What he really needs right now is to find Rimalder and get that Erdrick sword, which will really, really, really rapidly increase his experience per minute rate. As we see, fcoughlin now has, 4,000 experience lead over nycguy?
Just about, as there's the death there. Okay, yeah, we've got, just a hair under 4,000, about 3,960 something.
Interesting that he chose to take the... It's return you need to cast, sir. Interesting he chose to take the Death Warp out. I wonder what his thinking was there, or maybe he just, after an hour and 55 minutes, maybe he wasn't thinking.
It's hard to say. There's definitely a... I don't know if it's necessarily a frustration factor that tends to come in after a certain point into the seed, but there's definitely an, all right, I want to get this over with, and sometimes that leads to hasty decisions, sometimes it leads to surprising decisions, and sometimes it leads to flustering and indecision.
Or just overall bad decisions.
Yeah, in my case, oftentimes that leads to that. Oh yeah, that's another one. Desperation. Very good.
And hey, here it is. nycguy is going to, well, he's going to be happy that he found Urgic's sword, but he's also going to be confused as to how the seed is not over, given that he probably thinks the other runner found the sword much earlier, which he did. So maybe he's got a little bit of a despair going on right now as well. Or perhaps a little bit of hope.
A little from column A, a little from column B. But every runner certainly feels differently. I know that I tend to feel behind right at the initial countdown to 0 of the start of the seed. It's like, and the race is off, and Burgundy's 3 minutes behind.
As we have nycguy continuing his search. Rather unfortunate. Spending a lot of time doing this. Time that he could be spending running away from red dragons as well as possibly fighting green dragons. We'll see if he ends up in Hawksness the same way that that fcoughlin did. Speaking of Hawksness, I had to step away for a quick intermission. While I was gone, was there any golems killed actually on the spike tile?
Not to my recollection. I don't think any of them have tried.
Beta Strep, I believe nycguy looked at the swamp spike and it was a golem.
This is right around where that area was. I'm trying to remember where Fred had found that overworld item.
Unfortunately, does not have the spell of heal more, or else I would say it's probably better just to try to take down the red dragon. That being said, with 29 MP, that probably isn't a great plan either.
Seldom seems to work out the way it's intended. Oh, and there we go. There's the death necklace.
And looks like he may be committing to a Fairy Flute Golem grind. Not exactly sure if this is a bad move right now. With 117 AP, he's swinging quite hard, killing the Golem probably an average of 4 swings. And if it stays asleep like it is right now, that's quite a... Wow, 255 experience points, just like that.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, that experience lead has jumped to over 5,400.
Which is quite incredible. I mean, almost tripled the experience. As we have nycguy appears to be, well, fighting a wizard, running away, possibly doing a little bit of heel walking because he knows what he's facing on that spike tile. It is a golem. Ironically, he's fighting a golem to save the princess, to find the coordinates on the overworld where the fairy flute is located.
And get in there somehow.
He's just dying to know. Thank you, Lorgon. Yes, Osmadi, a double crit. Double crit would be... Well... That would be a statistical anomaly, I'll just say that.
Highly unlikely.
And as we reach our 2-hour point on this seed, has it been 2 hours? Man, time has just flown by. For those of you...
The first hour more so than the second, I will say that.
Not flying as fast as the fists on those golems. Anyways, for those of you who have just stopped by within the last couple of minutes, this is Dragon Warrior Randomizer for the final match of our summer tournament week 1 Swiss rounds. It's quite a slog. Right now I'm about to tell you guys to go check out our Discord and play the randomizer yourself, and before I do that, I just want to let you know that they're not all like this. This is quite the exception.
Well, it also depends on the flag set that you put in. If you're going by the standard tournament flags, yeah, there are easier flag sets. You can do selections where keys aren't necessarily required. I'll give some other options in a moment here. But level 16, 2, 4, 1, and 9. Huh.
Yeah. So, level 16 was not the magic level, although we do have all our magic, which we actually had at level 15. But level 16 is not it, both from a strength and an MP perspective, although we are getting pretty close on strength. Remember, the fighter's ring is still out there. Given what we know, it's probably in Charlock. And if they're on the edge, they can go grab that in the armory as well.
As I'm looking here, given what we know, it is definitely in Charlock, as those are the only 7 treasure chests unopened.
So it seems like fcoughlin has committed himself to the golem grind. Doing pretty well right now. Commanding experience lead. nycguy going for one more golem attempt. And given his equipment right now, and knowing what he knows, he has the rainbow drop, he has the equipment. I imagine he's thinking the death necklace is going to be a play, and is probably on the overworld search tile. The only issue is that you either have to beat a golem to get the death necklace, or for nycguy, beat a golem to get the fairy flute, realize that it's on Hawksness, and then beat a golem with the fairy flute in Hawksness. And oh, wow. It appears that nycguy has run out of keys.
Oh no.
Luckily, well, he knows where 1 is right next to Tanagle if he wants to go down there. And he does have the spell of outside to make it a little bit easier. Probably just going to go to Romualdar since he knows where that is and he doesn't have to go through that cave. He did find Romualdar late, though, so maybe I shouldn't say he knows where it is.
It's not necessarily a gimme.
Yeah, Guelph, kudos for both of them for not rage quitting the seed. I imagine nycguy may, given the time, may forfeit. I don't know. A lot of our runners try to finish out the seed regardless, but given where we are right now,
well, I can say about 2 hours and 15 minutes ago, looking in the race time chat, nycguy did say, I'm working at 3, so race is over when FC is done. So I think that is, I mean, there's a smiley face after it, so maybe there was some humor intended, but I think more realistically, once Fred does finish here, we're going to see an immediate forfeit from nycguy.
Alright, so fcoughlin is done grinding golems, immediately runs into another golem. Gonna go back to the town of coal, refill, and return. And nycguy doing what he needs to do, which is kill things other than golems to get sufficient levels to be able to kill the golem that he needs to. Yeah, Beta, I do agree. Given where the sword was, he probably realized as soon as he picked it up that he was well behind. I imagine he was hoping it was in Charlock this entire time.
I mean, it's hard to say, though.
So 3 more golems will net us the 12,000 experience required for level 17. Maybe 17 is the one. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yep, so you're telling me there's a chance, exactly.
Yeah, losing time on a messed up count is definitely it's discouraging to say the least. And given that the golem is hiding the princess, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to try to manually count it again once he hits level 13 and realizes level 13 is a zonk as well.
Up to NG noting the seed must have been nasty. You can see the stats at level 12 and see where they're at level 16. That MP stat is the one that jumps out the most. 50 MP. Plus you can see there was a lengthy count for the Fairy Flute. Cole was quite a ways away and that had Erdrick's armor. And Rimuldar had Erdrick's sword and that was a little bit away. Yeah, exactly. They still only have a maximum. And that's over on Fred's side, who is well ahead of nycguy, who couldn't find the Erdrick sword until very recently. It's just all the stats have been, I mean, I kind of previewed it because I had a hunch it was going to be very backloaded here, and still look to be, as 29 strength is going to be gained between levels 12 and 16. You see there's a gain of 12 or 18 hit points, 21 MP, but that's still only to get up to 50.
And Big Slamu mentioning in chat that he'd expect the deaths to be higher for this slow of a seed. I'll say it is. 4, 6, 38 hit points, 17 MP. Still not quite enough. They can wear the death necklace, but that's not enough MP to make it. Big Slamu, the reason why the deaths are so low is that a large number of the enemies that they've encountered have been lengthy fights involving green dragons with stop spell, chipping them away with low attack power, or killing lower tier enemies that don't give quite as much XP. So even though it's been a long seed, a very long seed, not exactly a death-filled seed, although, 57 combined between them? King's got a lot of disappointment.
So there's a question in chat. Is there an advantage to putting the death necklace on now? Given that you're meleeing against the golem, it certainly is a possibility. I guess the concern with that... Now, Charlock's on the first continent, correct?
Charlock is on the second continent, and it's not too... Well, Breckenary is probably a 30-second walk away from it.
Oh, okay. I think I was confusing where... Okay, so they wouldn't necessarily be soft-locked if they put it on at that particular point. It's hard to say, as we do thank those of you from Strizer86, Strizer86's channel for the raid here to Randomania, alongside... So we've been going at this so long, I've forgotten who I am, let alone anybody else here. Alongside Elmore St. James, I'm Ferran Burgundy, and we have had a rather lengthy, challenging Dragon Warrior Randomizer seed here, as this is the conclusion of the Week 1 Swiss rounds. We have nycguy taking on fcoughlin, better known as Fred.
Yeah, it's been quite a slog. To answer chat about the death necklace, I'm not a stats expert by any stretch of the imagination, but putting the death necklace on right now will give you a range of 2.5 to 5 more damage on average to the golem. So you're not really increasing the speed at which you kill the golem. However, you do have significantly less hit points, and you will want to uncurse yourself prior to entering Charlock Castle, so they can go the way down to the Dragon Lord with full hit points. So I'm not sure if putting it on right now. You could theoretically consider a Metal Slime grind once you get sufficient attack power to deal full damage, that is 3 damage, which I believe comes, a guaranteed 3 damage. Furon comes at what, 142 attack power?
On what, the Metal Slimes?
Yes.
I believe it's pretty close to that. Definitely 142 does a range of 3 to 7. 140, I believe, does 3 to 6. So yeah, once you get up that far, then it's technically, I mean, it's certainly a possibility.
And with this amount of hit points, if they have 140 AP, they might be going down to see the Dragon Lord. It depends on what level 18 is going to bring. Was that 14,250 hit experience points?
14,250, that is correct, and we understand that people are seeing this for the first time, so there may be some questions and unfamiliarity. So the reason that Fred walks more than one tile to re-trigger it, the Erdrick's armor that he has heals 1 hit point per step walked. So yeah, that is pretty much to do a little bit of a heal walk in a sense, and not trigger an encounter that could lead to an early death.
And also remember, the other enemies in Hawksness that we've seen right now is the Green Dragon and the Stoneman, both of which are not necessarily bad enemies to grind on. In fact, the green dragon might be a little bit faster than the golem if that was the only enemy here, and you could trigger it a little bit more quickly. Still fighting. Oh, he's running. He's running. But Stoneman doing its... Oh. Gets away. Finds a green dragon. Excellent
Nice
move.
crit.
Very nice crit.
Oh, and of course, 18 experience away. Yes, to answer the question, is there any item for an MP per step recovery? No, the only ways to recover magic points in this game are to either stay at an inn or die and go back to the castle and start with max MP again. Or there is the person in Tangible Castle you can talk to who restores your magic points to max, but that's about it.
And given the proximity to coal, there actually is an item that refills your mana, but it does it once, and it's after about 30 tiles of walking to the inn. So it's not actually an item. I was trying to make that funny. 2 hours and 16 minutes into the seed, I hope you understand that my effort was there.
Well, here's the next level, 5, 2, 7, and 17. And that probably will be the go level.
That's a little spicy.
I say with hesitant confidence.
So you have a lot of hit points, so you have the chance of doubles even after putting on the death necklace. You're still going to need a large number of swings, or you still need a good number of swings. If you swing low in the beginning, you could put yourself in a bad position. The other thing is the agility is quite high, but their defense is still low. So the Dragon Lord has the possibility of hitting them for, I think, up to, what, 50? 51? 51. Unless he goes and gets that silver shield, which I doubt he will. Well, he's going to try, so we're going to see it here momentarily.
Yeah, it looks like it's right around that 50 to 51 range. 25 minimum, at least on the melee, so it is something to keep some semblance of an eye on. And I have a feeling that, yeah, Fred is kind of like a lot of us at this point of just, all right, this looks pretty close, let's just get this over with.
Absolutely. At some point, you have to go for it. The fighter's ring, in this case, will actually be a pretty good boon, I think. It'll bring it from 100, assuming he's putting the death necklace on, which I think he is. It'll take him from 138 to 140 attack power, bringing him to that 10 to 20 range, which will make it just a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but raise the odds substantially.
He's using one of the Healmores here as he figures that fighting these red dragons are probably easier than trying to run from them.
With 74 agility, agility is just a number. We know that. There's absolutely, times where you get 4+ coin flips in a row that go against what you want. But I think running may be the answer, unless he's already given up on the dive and it's just dealing damage to get experience.
That's also possible. Yeah, not using an... Well, okay, he's gonna go for the torch. Yeah, he's holding on to his herbs here, so I think... Yeah, I think he's probably just trying to... Oh, yeah, the fairy water not really doing a whole lot here. And he's taking fights along the way. I think this is just a scouting mission.
And pick up that the ring while you're on the way down to the basement, or in the basement, depending on where it's located.
Yeah, that's certainly solid as well.
Another red dragon. Send him back.
And bye-bye.
So does he try to grind for another level, or does he grind for another level, or does he try for another dive? It didn't seem to go very well for him. We know that there's red dragons in that first zone, and I mean, all he saw were red dragons, blue dragons, golems, and I think that was it. Not exactly the Charlock dive you want to see 2 hours and 20 minutes into this seed.
Yeah, I mean, the grind has gone fairly well here for Fred. I mean, if we look, waiting for NYC guys to come up here, yeah, you're looking at like a roughly 9,600 experience lead.
He doesn't know that, though, and as late as he found Urgic's armor, he may be thinking right now that he's behind.
Very possible.
At 2 hours and 20 minutes into any seed, it's really hard not to feel behind. Yeah, and I agree. You're halfway to... man, I don't even know what 19 is. What is it? 16,500 experience for level 19.
Yeah, you know what it is. See?
Yeah, 19 is so uncommon that I have to actually click over to my tracker to look it up.
That's fair. Even on my on my split, yeah, my live split, after level 16, it just says, I gotta grind more, and that's the only split that I have.
Bell UV rightfully saying yes, 2250 here on out. Wait, is it?
Well, no. After level 19, once you get to level 20, then it's 3,000 for each level. So it would go from 16,500, 19,500, 22,500, 25,500, all the way up until the 30. Basically, half of 65,535 is the last level.
Oh, yes, 3/4 up to NG, 3/4. I believe it's 49,151 for level 30. Let's hope we don't have to see that tonight.
So another death here for NYC guy, and there we go, 5917. So yeah, we're looking at almost a 10,000 experience difference here.
Yeah. I'm not going to say this is insurmountable, but it's insurmountable at this point. We're just waiting for Fred to finish. He's getting pretty close to that, what did I say, 16,500? 16,500.
Yep, 2 more golems.
And he has the resources to do it. And even just a little bit of NP right here will help him, or attack for that matter. HP he's good on. He probably doesn't care about that quite as much anymore.
And here's level 19. 10 power, 10 speed, 8 hit points, 4 magic points.
That gives you that 11th heal more, and you also have 150 attack power with the Death Necklace and the Fighter's Ring. And that little bit more HP. Now you have 120-ish, 120, 121 HP after putting on the Death Necklace. So
yeah, 120. So there's even the possibility of some double attacks. So I don't even know if you necessarily need to get the fighter's ring.
I'm with you on that one. 150 compared to 148 isn't quite the boon, because you don't raise that the bottom, what you can hit for, quite as much. I know the averages probably don't care as much, but we'll see what he does. I probably is not going to waste the time getting it.
Well, here's the other thing. I mean, just doing the calculations, at 138 attack, you're looking at 9 to 19 on the Dragon Lord. If by some stroke of luck, Fred was able to get down there with all 11 heal mores, the attack range would be 12 attacks on the second form of the Dragon Lord with 11 heal mores. So it can be done without the Death Necklace, but I think the Death Necklace would certainly make it a lot faster. And that's something that Fred could certainly do if he gets in a jam with some of these enemies on the way down. If the Red Dragons and maybe, I don't know if we've seen Armored Knights, if they become a little bothersome and all of a sudden, oh no, he's only down to X number of heal mores. I mean, the 148, that gives you 12 to 24, so that's 10 attacks. So you could theoretically get down there with 8 heal mores and get it done.
Also, a substantial increase in agility, too, giving them an additional 5 defense compared to the 77 he had earlier, and a much better chance of running away from some of these enemies. Although, Red Dragon don't care.
And that's also a fair point from chat, that the 161 max HP is overkill, especially after the first round with the Dragon Lord, because you're never going to heal all the way back up that way. So using the Death Necklace is probably the ideal way to go, because then even with the 120, you still have a decent chance of some double attacks, as opposed to just attack and then heal more, attack and then heal more.
I think what we're saying is the odds are ever in his favor.
I mean, I'm no bookie, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, over on the other side, nycguy back in the mountain cave looks to be doing a gold grind, possibly looking for that silver shield. That's the only thing I'd be grinding gold for at this point. Can't really buy experience with gold in this game other than buying weapons to allow you to kill things faster. And just like that, fcoughlin is on the bottom floor of Charlock Castle, completely bypasses the armory as expected, heading straight to the Dragon Lord. Red Dragons, no problem. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I just cursed it, didn't I? We'll see if we can go for the triple golem on the spike tile. I mean, on a seed like this, that's what we would expect, I imagine.
Okay, and a programming note from our restreamer, Fred's audio is unusable because his microphone's on, so as we be talking, so would Fred, and Fred would not know that we're talking, so it would be this vocal cluster of voices that nobody really wants to hear, even if I wasn't a part of it.
Plus, I imagine at this point, I don't know him, I don't want to make assumptions about the kind of language he uses, but if I were in his position...
Nickelodeon is probably dirtier language than he is.
Okay. And takes it out with 19 HP, saves up. Nope, he opts to use the heal more instead of the herbs, which is probably a good call at this point. 10 heal mores with the amount of attack power he has should be sufficient. And is this the first AK-47 we've seen in Charlock? I don't know. I don't even know if one was there. He ran away so quickly.
So there we go. The Dragon Lord gives the offer to share half the world. Fred declines, and the first the first action taken is to put on that death necklace. So there is 10 additional attack and a max of, I thought it was 120, but apparently 121 on the experience realm. And there is DL1 gone. Here comes the second form of the Dragon Lord. No back attack. 21 to start. That's well above average. Another 21, so we're already at 42. Again, the Dragon Lord is anywhere between 150 and 165 HP, and we're already at 42. And now up to 58 after the third attack. Yes, indeed, I did. And now up to 71. Gonna use another heal more. Barring a miss menu, this should be in the bag at this point. Now 88. $105 now. $128. That was a near max roll on that 23. $146. So this next attack could do it. If it's 19 or higher, it's a guarantee. It's 14. All right, so up to 160. So the next attack will guaranteed do it. 178, and that is your victory. Well, it certainly feels like it's been a bit of a slog, and that's probably because it was, but get out your GGs for fcoughlin. He will go to 1-0 in the Swiss rounds with an official race time.gg time of 2 hours, 32 minutes, and 23 seconds. And as expected and anticipated, nycguy immediately throws up the forfeit and notes, "Thank you for relieving me of this misery," and other things that I can't exactly express here on Randomania.
Tilo asks in chat about the matchups on stream. I don't know if they're going to stream it, but I do know that they're not going to be available tonight, most likely. Check the Discord for that information. In the meantime, maybe we'll be able to get one or both of our runners in here for a brief commentary. Although they maybe want to forget that this happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm I'm not sure how much of the chat I can disseminate here, but both, we'll just say that both are expressing their displeasure and kind of relaying a little bit of Fred kind of explaining his strategy here. As we have nycguy in here, we will keep it brief here because we know that you have work in a little bit here, but GG, and thanks for sticking it out as long as you could. I think you lasted longer than at least some of us in chat would, myself included. I think we're working on some of the audio issues here, but we also have Fred joining us here in the Discord. GG, and I think I echo the sentiments of nycguy. Thank you for relieving us of this misery.
Oh, no problem. That was painful. That, to be a complete understatement, completely painful.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry I had to push the talk off, but yeah, I just want to say thanks. I didn't want to be that guy to forfeit before someone else finished, but thank you, Angel FM MVP, my favorite person ever in the world.
Well, yeah, the kind of disparity of where things had started was the tablet cave to the southeast of Tanagil Castle. nycguy, you noticed that it was the tablet cave and opted to nope out. Fred did go in there in the dark and was able to find that magic key a little bit earlier. It wasn't too instrumental, but it was just allowing the ability to access a couple little things here, a couple little things there, and then it just led to this gradual exponential growth of things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was hiding anything major beyond what was that in Rimmeldar. If you made it that far with the key, I mean, I don't know. I didn't find having a key early would have really helped me too much, but yeah.
No, it didn't really help that much in that regard, other than having the knowledge of, okay, I've already checked this out, I've already checked that out. But ultimately, getting to Rimmeldar and getting to Cole, where the sword and armor were, there was a little while where I believe nycguy, you had the armor, you found that first, and Fred found the sword first. So it was very much okay, which is going to prevail. But given the lack of strength gains throughout most of the seed, okay, the lack of general gains overall for most of the seed, it didn't prove to be all that helpful necessarily.
Yeah, that was an understatement on a lack of gains. I just kept looking at stuff. I was like, I think around 16. I was like, okay, now normally we would have considered going in the last couple of levels, like as soon as I got that heal more, and I'm like, okay, I need more health. I need more MP. I need a lot more MP. I need more attack power. I definitely need more agility. It's like you knew this had to be a grind at that point, just because there was so many things that we needed in order to viably have a chance of surviving.
And I just couldn't find the right monsters to grind. I mean, early game maybe fine, but I wanted to find some mid-tier stuff, and then it just took forever. And then later on, just wanted to keep advancing. It just could not find the right groups. I think I found things a little late. So
yeah, it was tough. I ended up grinding a bit in Swamp Cave, just walking around and grabbing randoms in there. Once I got up to, I don't remember how much I was, but just okay, there were some Druid Lords and some other stuff in there. It was just enough to top me up to level. Which level was that? Topped me up to level. Yeah, topped me up to level 11, I want to say, with that, or somewhere around there, level 12. And just ran with it, and then got into Hawksness eventually after 5,000 tries to go get the flute off the search spot, which every single time I thought I was close. Oh, Red Dragon. Don't think so. Back to start. And so then just ended up finding Hawksness, discovered, hey, there's green dragons here as part of the regular zone. Okay, you know what? We're going to just sit here a while and use those to try to level up.
yeah, the greens were nice. I didn't see them in Hawksness, at least I don't remember. I was fighting them in the forest outside of Breck, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff, yeah, they just ended up being in there, so I just walked around on the desert tiles in there and hoped that the golems and stonemen didn't kill me in between finding them. But I think they were one of the more common enemies in that group, it felt like.
Yeah, and then did you ever bother with the search tile, the coordinates?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
I walked that all out. That, I think, I think that was the fairy flute. Which is what made the golems a lot easier at that point, because when I just kept abusing that, even though it was slow as heck, saying, at least this way I can survive and maybe get lucky enough to kill one. I waited until I got heal more before I got the death necklace off of Hawksness there.
Yeah, I mean, I was really hoping for heal more earlier. I didn't care for hurt more at that point, because I knew I had no chance versus golems without the heal more. But...
yeah, I'd seen the Hawksness tile at that point. Just after I got the hurt more, I died, and I went back through Swamp Cave and said, okay, let's go check. Oh, shoot, it's another hurt. It's another golem. Okay, we're not going to bother with that, and just went back and, again, used it a little bit on green dragons, but not even that much, because I whiffed more often than not, it felt like, so I just kept punching them because they would stop spell me, and I'd say, nope, not working with that armor now.
Well, definitely GG to you.
Yes.
Sorry, I am going to head off. I do want to say thank you to everybody. As much as I hate Angel, I do love the guy. But thank you, Angel, for tracking last second. And also thank you for Ron for jumping in there for comms and for Camion for the restream. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I'm sorry you had to put up with my awful audio and my deaths.
It's all good. Thank you for playing, dude. Have a good night. Go get some sleep.
GG. Have a good night.
Take care. Bye.
Well, I am being told that we have a bit of a bonus here as the Week 2 matchups have been rolled, so we're going to have a moment here to provide the reveal. And good news and bad news, Fred, as I'm looking at it here. Good news is you're 1-0. Not quite as good news is you can extract your revenge on the one who rolled this seed as you're taking on Angel FM.
Oh, my chat there's I think one phrase that my chat knows I'm about to say right now. Son of a monkey.
Yeah, that was actually brought up here in the chat as well. There was a question as to how many monkeys were invoked on your stream.
10.
10. Okay.
Actually, with that one, it was 10. So it was 9 prior to that.
9. We also have here Apex Corvid against Guelph 35. Arn Polly against Velavi. Big Slamu. Well, I guess you were able to provide the appropriate. I don't know. You did not get Nest Cardinality as you had requested, so that's good. But Big Slamu, you'll be taking on Janice. We have Brian Williams 42 against Diabetes II. That's a pair of 1-0 matchups. Bryce Ulf against Asmati Games. That one will definitely be interesting. We also have Centroid 41 against Up to NG. Ooh, okay. There are a lot of intriguing matchups here. Commander Leonhard against Yakko Wacko 20. We have Cyberdark against Beta Strep.
Ooh.
Man, there are some. These are some juicy ones here.
There are some excellent seeds or matches coming up. We have DK9146 versus Tristal MTG. We have myself, Elmore St. James, rounded up against Jay Coper. We have EMP, Any Amount of Money versus Jackamus. We have Harrison versus Sparkover. High Spirits versus Aaron 2U2. Given the way that Aaron 2U2 has been playing, I think that's going to be a great matchup as well. JJ Schmidt 77 versus Monjour Slime. Joyzal versus Archfield Monk.
I'm gonna back up for just a moment because I know people are gonna. It's JJ Schmidt against Monsieur Slime.
Oh, Monsieur Slime. I apologize.
Monsieur Slime.
Mispronunciation.
That is about the knowledge of my French. So
yeah.
Although usually I'm asking people to pardon my French, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, me too. Going on, we have Lavkian versus Lord of the Synth.
Oh,
we have
man.
Marashu versus Ryguy 3745. That's going to be a great one. Nemenva versus Kigalis. Sausage Link 83 versus Chromaticalism. Smashy versus Stags 28. That's going to be a good one too, I think. Stags and Smashy have both been doing really well. Starman versus the Tesla. The Seawolf 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. That's going to be a good one. Versus Ursun.
Tilo and Nest Cardinality. How does it always happen?
It does. And then Zarnax 42 versus Edge.
I know what a penultimate announcement there, but oh my gosh, that how many tournaments has that been now, Tilo, that you've ended up paired with Nescar? It's destiny, it's fate, it's whatever word you want to use. Yeah, memes all around. Exactly. No need to waste it.
I mean, is this even random? The pairing, that is.
4 times. And this is our 6th annual tournament now?
I don't know. This is only the 2nd tournament and the first summer tournament I've taken place in. Although I do remember the last couple of times Tilo has met Nescard. but tons and tons of great matches.
So there we go. So now that those have been announced, the competitors, they'll be scheduling their races, and make sure to check out the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Discord as those will be scheduled. And also, I believe it has the link to where the races will be, and you'll see those here among the Randomania networks and probably the Speed Gaming networks, as well as RPG Limit Break when available. And this is just week 2 of 5 of the Swiss rounds before we even get into the bracket stage. I know I'm dumbfounded by it all. But any last thoughts here before we put a bow on this here tonight? I think at this point it's last call. We as long as we've been here.
There's a ton. Note to self: don't use the number character 0 to be your hotkey for push to talk when all of a sudden you see a whole bunch of zeros appear in your chat. But there's a ton of good matchups in this one. It's going to be a ton of fun just to watch all the madness out unroll here. This is going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be a great week. I know a bunch of them I'm excited to watch, so hopefully everyone will be excited to check it out on all the various channels here. Hopefully there'll be some good restreams on that too, because it's going to be crazy.
It will definitely be busy with the restreams. Luckily, we've got many good volunteers for this. If you want to restream, provide commentary, or track these races, reach out to anyone in the Discord and we can show you how.
Yeah, you can even potentially commentate alongside me, although I don't know what incentive that would be, but I throw it out there anyway. Just trying to have fun with this, but yes, as we approach almost 3 hours on the air here, uh, deep into the night here on a Sunday night, it's it's definitely it's getting late early, in the words of Yogi Berra, the great baseball player. So I think with that,
I do have one more question for Fred. Sir, will you be still online after this race?
Unfortunately not. As I was just mentioning to my chat, I have a daughter who is turning 12. I'm kind of feeling old and scared right now, but she's turning 12 in approximately an hour. So I'm about to drop off and go prep some stuff. Hopefully she's asleep, so that way she didn't hear me say that.
they know nothing, they hear nothing.
Yeah, hopefully she's asleep. So there's some random stuff I have to do around the house, but definitely appreciate the question. And hopefully we'll be seeing things later on this summer. Again, thank you for the commentary. Thanks to Angel for jumping in on tracking and studying his next week opponent. I'm sure that wasn't at all planned at all.
Plans, what are those?
Beats me. They'd never work for me. I try plans, I fail miserably.
Something best laid plans. I don't know. I should entice people, not dissuade them. Well, yes, commentating with me is good. Give me a follow and I can tell you what's not good. How's that for an entice?
Very nice. And with that, I believe we have a raid target. So, Furon, do you have any last comments before we head out of here?
Well, since I would like to come back in some capacity, I'll reserve those comments. But I do thank you all for tuning in here to Randomania. Thanks to all the folks behind the scenes here who stuck with us for rather lengthy seed, to say the least. And we look forward to seeing you next time for our restreamer tracker and for my broadcast partner, Elmore St. James. I'm Ferran Burgundy saying stay classy, my friends, and more importantly, stay safe. Good night, everyone.